I'm Karyn, and today I'm here to demonstrate how to conduct a leaf chromatography experiment. Specifically, this experiment will be looking at how the temperature of spinach leaves will affect its R value. So the first part of this experiment is creating the 5 pieces of chromatography we'll need for the 5 trials. So in order to create that, we'll need some paper towel tissues, scissors, a pencil, and of course a ruler. And each of these chromatography paper will be 12 centimeters by 4 centimeters wide. Alright, so now that we have our 5 strips of chromatography paper, what we have to do now is mark a baseline for each of these paper, and that baseline will have to be 2 centimeters. The third step is to measure 50 milliliters of alcohol with this measuring cup and fill each of these 5 glass cups with that amount of alcohol. The second part of our experiment is preparing for the spinach samples. So in order to do that, the first thing we need to do is measure 5 sets of 5 grams of these spinach. And to do that, of course, we'll need the measuring balance. And when you're using the balance, make sure that you tear the bowl. And also, one thing to keep in mind is that we're only using the leaves part of the spinach. So when you're measuring, you should tear the leaves apart just like this. And also, we'll need the 5 bowls. We'll be using it to separate the samples. Next thing we have to do is dilute the spinach with alcohol, half teaspoon of alcohol, which is around 2.5 milliliters, and use the mortar and pestle in order to do that. So I'm gonna demonstrate for one of this. So before we grind them though, it is helpful that we cut the spinach into smaller pieces using scissors. So then, now what I'm going to do is measure half teaspoon of alcohol. And then I'm just going to start grinding. So the aim is to turn these spinach leaves into a fine pulp. As you can see here, the liquid is actually turning green, and that is a good sign that you're on the right track. So yeah, this is almost done, because as you can see, I have successfully crushed all the spinach leaf pigments, and that is our goal because we want to let it mix with the alcohol. Yeah. So once you get a soft puree looking mixture, that's when you know it's done. So you just have to place it there. our samples in their assigned temperatures. This one is from room temperature, and I'm gonna be demonstrating what we're gonna do with the samples after the 5 minutes we isolated them. Okay, so what we need is this paintbrush, and so we're just gonna dab that in the sample and then trace the baseline, and then color the baseline with the sample. And since it is kind of faded, as you can see, we're gonna repeat this process 6 times for each strip of chromatography paper. So now that these are all set, it's time to just suspend all of them in the alcohol, and then we're gonna set the timer to 20 minutes because that's the time we'll be letting them suspend in the alcohol. And now all that's left to do is start the timer.